Good afternoon, children. Very good afternoon to all of you. This is Aprajita ma'am speaking. Today, we are going to start a new chapter in MC. In order to start the chapter, I would like to tell you all some things about our mother India. India is a land of varied flora and fauna. Natural vegetation means the plants growing naturally in that area. Natural vegetation varies from region to region. The factors that determine the type of vegetation are temperature, rainfall, type of soil, and altitude. An area where vegetation comprises trees is called a forest. Usually, forests are found in regions of high rainfall. Forests can be classified into evergreen forests and deciduous forests. Evergreen forests are named so because there is no season to shed all their leaves. On the other hand, in deciduous forests, most of the trees shed their leaves at the time of the year, especially during the dry season. So, here I hope you all have understood which is the chapter we are starting today. So, let me just take you all there. Tree huggers. Chapter 10 in your MC. The poem is written by Todd Michael St. Pierre. Now, Todd Michael St. Pierre writes poems, songs, and plays for children. He is a storyteller at schools throughout the southern United States. Among his published works are Somewhere as Told by Garrett, The Parrot, and the Louisiana State Bird Beauty Pageant. Tree Huggers is a part of a collection, A Tree House on the Moon, to be published soon, along with other works such as The Prince of Nonsense, Silly Poems for Kids, and Put the People in a Zoo and Set the Animals Free. Poems for kids to read out loud. St. Pierre lives in St. Francisville, Louisiana, with his two Siamese twin cats. So this is all we come to know about Todd Michael St. Pierre. Now coming up to our poem, Tree Huggers, written by this famous writer. Tree Huggers. Children of the fragile forest, gather around, where birdsong seems to be the loudest sound. A place called summer, green as you could please. A place where we all proudly hug the trees. Hug trees for the walnuts and sweet apples. For the shade above small country chapels. For giving squirrel and crow a place to live. For the priceless gift of oxygen they give. So what do we read here? That the children, they have gathered around in a forest where they find birds singing. What kind of a forest have they gone to? A forest which is fragile. What does fragile mean? Something which is easily broken or damaged. So the children, They have gone to a forest, they are enjoying themselves in a place which can be easily damaged by we men. The second line we find a place called summer green as you could please. A place we all proudly hug the trees. The forest is a place where there's always summer and greenery. Place where the trees find places to flourish themselves. And a place where we proudly hug them. There's nobody to stop us there. What do we hug the trees for? Here we find people are very jealous. They hug trees for the walnuts, for the sweet apples, for the shed, and for the small country chapels. What is a chapel? Small buildings or rooms that are used for Christian worship in a school. Prison, large as a private house. So they make chapels with the help of the trees. So people, they hug trees for themselves. They hug trees for the nuts, for the apples, and for the branches, the trees, the wood which they get from the tree. For giving squirrel and crow a place to live, for the priceless gift of oxygen they give. They even hug trees because trees give places for the squirrels and the crows to live in, which we need, whom we need, in order to make our atmosphere clean. We hug trees because they give us priceless oxygen. That's what. We never hug trees because we love them. We hug trees because they give us many things. Now, the next part. What does the poet tell us here? Follow your feet across a woodland floor, beneath the tall and ancient sycamore, under redwood, under tall blue pine. Come with me and form an endless line. Join the boy whose name is simply me. So, what does the poet tell us? He tells us to follow the feet. Where? Across a woodland floor, across the forest, beneath the tall and the ancient sycamore. What is a sycamore? A European tree of the maple family, with leaves that have 5 points and seeds shaped like a pair of wings. So the poet tells us to walk through that forest in order to feel the trees, in order to have beauty, in order to feel the beauty within us. Under redwood, under tall blue pine, come with me and form an endless line. So, what does the poet tell us? He tells us to walk under the redwood. What is the redwood? The sacred trees, the tall pine trees. He tells us to come with him and form an endless line to make many followers so that people they learn how to love trees. He wants us to join the boy whose name is simply me. No other name does that boy have, who walks through the forests and who loves the trees. He only tells himself to be it's me. So we should all become that me and follow every person who loves trees in this surroundings. Now the next part of the poem. Take your turn and hug a mighty tree. A wish we cast upon an August breeze, a dream to cross the seven sacred seas. Release it now, just like a big balloon. A prayer to reach the mountains of the moon. To citizens of art, alas, we say, go find yourself a tree to hug today. And if a grown up says, don't be a fool, or is it, or is that what they are teaching you in school? Just find this poem and read this simple line. It's cool to hug a tree from time to time. Children, this is how the world can be, making Earth plan A and not plan B. Wear change, share change, sing change and bring change. And start by hugging a tree. So, what does the poet tell us here? That you take your turn and turn towards the forest and hug a mighty tree, a tree which is very mighty since it gives us so many things. A wish we cast upon an August breeze. Why do we wish an August breeze? Because it lets the leaves fall down and helps new leaves to come up, a new generation to come up, a new beauty to come up to the trees. A dream to cross the seven sacred seas. A dream will come true when you cross a forest. A dream of crossing the seven sacred seas will become true when you release it now, just like a big balloon, and cross a wild forest. A prayer to reach the mountains of the moon. The moon is the ultimate man wants to land to. So, what do we pray for? We pray for reaching the moon. How do we do so? By crossing mountains. What do the mountains stand upon? What covers the mountains? The trees. The trees help the mountains to stand straight. The trees hug the soil there and do not let the soil crash down. To citizens of earth, alas, we say, go find yourself a tree to hug today. Love the trees, the poet says, so that we all can live long. If we do not hug trees, we cannot live long. And if a grown up says, don't be a fool, a grown up might tell you, do not be a fool, do not hug a tree. What will you say here? Or is it what they are teaching you in school? If it's what you're being taught at school, what will you tell them? Just find this poem out and read this simple rhyme for them so that they understand the importance of trees. It's cool to hug a tree from time to time. You cannot hug everybody, whoever you want. But nobody will stop you from hugging a tree which is an everlasting friend for you. Children, this is how the world can be if you want it to be, the poet says. Making art plan A and not plan B, which is plan A. Plan A is the first paragraph where you release your dreams and you move forward throughout the forest and hug trees and love them. And plan B, where an elder person stops you from doing so. Do not go for that. Just read aloud this poem for them. Wear a change, bring a change, share a change among every person you meet. Sing a change, sing this poem so that a change comes up to the world. And bring a change. This is what is the expectation from you. And start by hugging a tree. The poet expects all of us to hug trees and bring beauty back to the earth. So, what is the moral of the poem we find here, children? When you cannot hug people, hug a tree. You will get lots of beauty and peace there. Thank you, all of you.